Hello, I'm Bret Moss, and you're watching a defining moment for creating the culture of conscience. Our guest today is Gayokla Nichi. Gayokla is a traditional healer with the Blackfoot tribe and a member of the Executive Council of the Native American Leadership Alliance. Gayokla was born in the mountains of Montana and raised in Arizona. This is Gayokla's third appearance on our program. Gayokla Nichi, welcome to the defining moment. We're very happy to have you back here again.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Love having you here. Thanks for coming. Our topic today is Native American natural healing. And I'm sure as a natural healer you have many testimonies which would open the eyes of many people who may doubt the value of natural healing. How do you go about healing people?
Healing people, first, is a connection of what people said, mind and body. I say mind and heart. I use my mind and my heart to make that connection to what is wrong with a person. And usually people that have come over, they tell me, I have this situation here, I have this pain on this place, and I have gone to doctors, and I have never find any healing for this particular part of my body. So I put my mind and my heart into that situation, and I ask the Creator, why is this person feeling this way? The Creator usually tells me what have gone wrong in their life, why the situation came up, what is the situation of their ancestral background. And then I ask the Creator, is it possible to remove this by a spiritual energy or by herbal? And then the Creator tells me which way it is. And then I go from that point on. I hear a lot of people always saying, you know, I have a problem with diabetes. In television, there is also the Diabetes Research Center, and they spend millions and millions of dollars. But they actually are not serious about healing none of these problems. Society is to control sickness, not to eliminate sickness. Our ways, traditional ways, are to eliminate the sickness once and for all and to never come back again. 90% of our sicknesses come from our mind. It's either ancestral things that we have done bad in our lives, and there's a certain responsibility that humans need to take. A lot of people live life recklessly, but that's, our sicknesses, either spiritual or physical.
Okay, good. Very interesting. Now you mentioned situations of ancestors. What do you mean by ancestral situations?
We all have good and bad ancestry. Some ancestors are very terrible. They come into the face of Mother Earth and they destroy and they consume out of greed. These are situations that these people accumulate into karma. Karma accumulates into energy. And then from that energy, everything comes down to energy. From energy, the sickness comes to create in the body. Whether there is cancer, tumors, bad situation in the hearts, I can go on and on saying all different kinds of things, but ancestral, it's a very, very terrible thing, because ancestral, that's part of the spiritual sickness. The spirits can be removed. I don't want to sound too crazy.
Well, I think what you're talking about is that there seems to be a spiritual heritage that people receive from their ancestors.
Yes. To the Native people, we're very careful who we marry. We are very, as parents, we choose blood lineage. We are very picky on that issue, because we look at people's ancestry and we look at their history and how much pain they have done in the physical world. And usually we tell our children, it's better to stay away from this person. Or we look at the person's body and some fingers are missing, or different parts of the body are wrong, or the hearing, or the mentally person. This has got to do with ancestral inheritance. Also, how you live your life. It's a very important thing. You know, people live life without responsibility. It's no different than any wild animal in creation. Some people live their life worse than animals. It's an animal, or worse than an animal, on a human body. So we have to see this ancestral background and how the person thinks and acts to determine what is wrong with this person.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you. What are some of the underlying principles or secrets to traditional healing? In your experience, what allows traditional healing to be so effective?
Heart, mind, and faith. When you connect your mind and your heart, and you know very well what is the sickness, then people's faith has a big role to play on it. The mind is a very powerful thing. The mind can either make you or break you into different situations. Native people encounter situations. We don't have problems, we have situations. And when we encounter these people, it's up to them how much faith they have. People are so accustomed to put their faith in pills. Where do pills come from? They use herbs. They use plants and roots to make these pills. But they don't use it the right way, because they're not interested on healing or killing the problem. They only want to control. If everybody's healed, doctors their business is gone. So it's a very faith has to be. You know, people have to have faith.
So you don't have a very high view of Western medicine?
I really don't want to comment or to criticize Western medicine, but they should improve.
Okay, good. They could probably learn something from Eastern medicine and from the natives.
They need to learn. You know, one time that I went to the hospital and I see inside the hospital how everybody else is treated. They're treated more like a thing out of humanism, no heart. But even though when I was at the hospital at the time, I could see a lot of different problems, spiritual problems, that they were there to be treated physically. The spiritual problems, they take no less than a few minutes. And people go on suffering for years and years, looking for this medicine, for that medicine.
Okay, very interesting. What role do plants and herbal remedies have? What's the secret behind using plants and herbal remedies to heal the sick?
You know, like I said, once you determine that it's a spiritual sickness, once you determine that it's a physical sickness, you have to treat the parts of the body where the sickness comes from. You have the blood. You have a very, very good teas for the blood. You had avocado leaves. brings the balance of high blood pressure. You had different other plants that can stimulate the liver. You can make teas of maple leaves to make your liver strong. But there's a lot of different things, but you have to know very well the sickness of the person. You can't try this or try something else. You're not cooking.
Right. This is not experimenting with cooking.
Yeah, you're not making an experiment.
There is a science behind, in a sense, a science behind healing with plants.
You have to know what you're doing. You don't want to poison the person. You have to know what they need.
Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. Now, many people suffer from anxiety, from depression, or other so-called mental illnesses. What can natural healing offer in the area of mental illness, and have you treated any mental illnesses before?
Yes. These people, that issue is strictly spiritual. They do a lot of different tests on brain. They killing different brain cells. They just go touching here, touching there. But that is extremely spiritual, and that has to do with ancestral. There's a whole different process. There's also possession into that.
Spiritual possession.
Spiritual possession into that type of sickness. So you can't treat the brain. The mind controls the brain. The brain controls the body. And what the people are trying to do, they're trying to bring the healing into the brain without mining the body. So they say, mind over matter. But that relationship has to be known, the mind, the brain, and the body.
So your work then addresses the spiritual mind, which you explain controls the physical brain.
It controls the physical brain.
I see. Okay, can you give an example of somebody who's had a mental problem that you were able to cure?
I had this one time. I had this little young girl. She was 12 years old, and she had a very, very deep sense of depression. She always talked about killing herself. Her mother was always suffering from this type of, from watching this little girl's life. She was always hurting herself, speaking to the mother about killing herself. That type of went on for many years. In her school, she was seeing a psychiatrist. And the mother approached me and she says, is there anything that you can do to help me? You can help me if you help my little girl. So the mother invited me over to her house, and I went and I looked at the little girl, and I began to use my mind and my heart to connect to the Creator. The father of this little girl had come from Ireland, and he had killed a lot of people. In that situation, all the spirits of these people were attacking the child.
The people that he had killed.
The people that he had
resentful
killed.
Spirits.
Resentful spirits were attacking this child. So I begin to ask the Creator, can this situation be removed? The Creator asked me, how strong is your heart to do this? I say, I don't like to see this little girl suffer and go through a miserable life. So as I begin to get close to the little girl, I put my right hand on her back. And as soon as I put my right hand on her back, my whole hand felt frozen all the way to my shoulder. And I began to ask for the power of the Creator, this power that comes only from the Creator. And as the power came in from the Creator, it pushed everything and it cleared everything out of inside the body of this little girl. And this little girl began to faint. And I asked the mother to hold her. And as her knees were being weak, then I began on prayer and prayer. I don't recall what length of prayer do I go through.
Mm-hmm.
But my right side was cold, frozen. I felt frozen.
Yeah.
For about 3 days.
3 days.
3 days after that.
Wow.
But the reaction of the mother, it was a very pleasant reaction.
Mm.
She came and she thanked me. She says, "Thank you very much. Now my daughter and I will go for walks." Now she comes over, she hugs me, she says she's sorry for all the times, all the things that she made me go through.
Mm.
I cannot explain in words her feeling and my feeling. It's a very warm feeling from this point on.
Mm.
So as I went back to her school because I had to pick up my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I saw the child, she would always come and give me a hug. And she would always say, "Thank you very much."
Mm.
And I always told her, you have to thank the Creator. Never forget to thank the Creator.
Mm.
This kind of attitude, we have to always think, we're not the ones doing the healing. It's the power of the Creator.
You're talking about gratitude.
Gratitude, you have to be grateful. You have to be grateful to the Creator. And you have to say, every morning, every day, every night, we take everything for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Like our eyes, our physical touch, our feelings, what we feel, our feet. How many people don't have feet? How many people don't have hands? How many people don't have taste? How many people cannot speak, cannot hear, cannot see? We have to be very grateful for all these things every day and every night. We shouldn't lose that connection to the Creator.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that a lot. How do you stay healthy?
In this society, it's a miracle that we all maintain our sanity.
Mm.
We deal with road rage, we deal with society. But every once in a while, I take time to go to the mountains.
Mm.
And I take my shoes off and I walk on Mother Earth.
Mm.
I like to feel that connection. I like to bring water to the plants that are up in the mountains and talk to the plants. I like to speak to my Creator, and I like to say, "Creator, please forgive me, pity me for being so human. Pity me for not understanding other humans. Pity me for my heart sometimes filled with so much rage. When I encounter people with little hearts, people that don't appreciate other people, I feel sad the way humans abuse other humans. It begins to clog their minds. And I stand in the top of the mountains and I ask the Creator, please allow your energy to enter my body and to clean every organ of my physical body. And you can feel being strong again. When the Creator enters your body, the Creator begins to fill you up. He fills your heart, He fills your kidneys, He fills your intestines, He fills everything about you, your mind, your heart, your word. You have to follow your word every step of the way. When you speak something, you have to fulfill it. You can't speak like a fool.
You're talking about integrity, honoring your word as yourself.
That's the only thing that you have as a human being. Your word carries on when you go into the spirit world. Your heart, if your heart is strong and it's unconditionally given to other people. Many people die of heart attacks because these people are greedy. They suppress the heart so tight until the heart stops functioning. They create all kinds of sickness. They create mentally ill sicknesses. Some people, I was watching on TV a lawyer that lost his mind. This person lost his mind because all the bad things that he done on earth. They twisted things and situations only to win a fight, regardless whether the person is righteous or unrighteous.
You're talking about the kind of motivation that people have.
The kind of motivation
for
that
doing
people
what
have.
they do makes people ill.
It brings them illness. They corrupt their heart. They sell themselves. They bring their character lower than dirt, lower than alligators. When they die into the spirit world, they turn into different kind of animals that nobody has ever seen. Because they have no word, they have no heart, they have no characteristic as a human person. It brings sicknesses, and this kind of spirits wander on earth, and they go into physical bodies. And then the physical people on earth, they have to deal with this type of ancestry. And this world is, I do it to them before they do it to me.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Dog-eat-dog world, alligator eat alligator.
So people are doing whatever they have to do to survive. And in the process, many times people sell their souls, you're saying.
Many people, at this point, they are ready to die. They are ready to cross over into the spiritual world. And they still have not come to the realization that they need to repent for the violations that they have done to heaven, for the violations that they have done to each other, how they have killed, raped, murder, rob, all the bad things that they're going to drag into the spiritual world. And all of a sudden, they die with their eyes open.
Now, what happens when people don't repent for that before they go to spirit world?
Into the white world, they say that they call hell. Hell is actually not a place filled with fire or little guys with pitchforks.
Okay.
It's nothing like that.
It's not like that.
Hell, into the native thinking, it's a state of mind. It's a state of different situations that you could have made the right decision. Instead, you did the wrong approach on life. So in your mind, you relive those situations over and over and
in the
over
spiritual world.
In the spiritual world.
And that becomes your hell.
And that becomes your hell.
Because there's no way out of that situation.
There's no other way.
escape.
There's no, you actually dug your own hole, you went over, you made your bed, and you laid on it. You have to understand that before you are James, before that, you are a spiritual being. And before you are James, you are connected into the channel of the main tunnel. People don't see what we see. When I see a human person, I see a connection that comes from their umbilical cord connected into a huge tunnel. Of course, they don't see this because this is a spiritual thing.
You see that with your spiritual eye.
With your spiritual eyes, you can see even when people are ready to cross over. But when you see this person that is going this way and they feel, let me put up one example. a racist person. They feel that they are white, they're tall, they're superior than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's only in their mind. It's only in their head. But these people are actually very ignorant people.
Because they think that their concept is correct.
They think that they are right. They think that they are perfect.
Yeah.
But what they don't know is that sickness doesn't discriminate. Cemeteries don't discriminate. Hospitals don't discriminate. And the spiritual laws don't discriminate. The spiritual laws are set by the Creator. And the first spiritual law, the first one, you cannot mistreat other human beings. That is the first spiritual law. If you do, you will pay the price. So a person that lives in the physical world, they live their life abusing every human being. When they die,
it all catches up.
It all catches up to them, because sooner or later, we're going to die.
Yeah.
And a person with no heart, with no love in their mind, with no love in their heart, they're not going to live a very, very good life in the spiritual world.
The eternal world.
The eternal world.
Mm.
That will always be rejected. Nature wants nothing to do with this kind of people.
Mm.
And everybody wants to push them away. And also in the spiritual world, there's no foundation for them to stand.
Mm.
This kind of people are the people that are always, once they die, they wish they could have another chance on earth.
Sure.
And they say, please, if I can only have another chance.
Right.
Their chance is gone.
Yes, it's too late.
It's too late.
How can people who are interested in finding out more about traditional native healing explore it as a possible treatment option for themselves?
People can contact me at Nichi@yahoo.com.
Okay, great. So people can write your email and you'll answer them.
I'll answer them.
Okay, well, Gayokla, we're out of time. I want to thank you so much because you've shared some really amazing nuggets of truth, of wisdom from your heritage. And I believe that your heritage goes beyond your people. I believe that it's universal, what it is that you have to share with us. So I want to just thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. Ahoo!
Okay, please come back again. Thank you so much. You've been watching The Defining Moment for Creating the Culture of Conscience. You can find us on the internet at www.definingmoment.tv. Thanks for watching and have a great day.